Unfortunately, my first year working was hard. I cried so much. I stayed late so often. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're good, hope you're well. So in some of my Ask Adellas that I've been asking you guys to send through, thank you for that, I've been getting a few questions about my education background, my career, what do I do for work, do people need a master's, do I have a master's, questions like that. So I thought it would be easier if I combine all of those into one video and just talk about my education and career history up until now. So hopefully you find this interesting, you find it useful. I'm kind of going to share things that I have learned in my short career because I have not been working that long. And then yeah, if you have any questions, ask in the comments or ask me on Instagram. So I've basically been working since I was 16. As soon as I was allowed to work, I got a job. I turned 16 in September and I got my first job, which was in Zara, in January. So I did not waste any time. From September to January I was looking for a job, got it, started it when I was 16. As you can probably guess, I thought I was the flyest girl ever working in Zara when I was 16, but that was my first official job. So I was 16 when I got that job and I'm one of the oldest in my year, which means I was still in year 11. I hadn't yet gone to college, so I was in secondary school when I got my first job, and I think that job paid me like £300 a month because I was working 9 hours, which is the minimum contract you could get at Zara at the time. And from there I pretty much worked part-time the whole way through college and the whole way through uni. So at uni I studied fashion and textiles, economics and business. Economics was my favourite subject, but I had no plans of taking that to uni because I heard it was mad hard. Business, I just felt like was a very practical skill. And then fashion and textiles is actually what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a fashion designer back in the day. I had a sewing machine and all sorts. But truth be told, in hindsight, I don't think I was that good. But anyways, that was my dream. So after college, I then did a 1 year, what do they call it? A foundation course in art and design, specializing in fashion and textiles, because again it was my plan to go to fashion school and study fashion design, and you needed that foundation year, so that's what I did. Now come end of the foundation course, you start applying for university, you do your cover letter, you go through, what do you call it, UCAS and all of that. You apply for 5 universities, that's how it is in the UK, or I don't know if it's still like that, that's how it was. And I got rejected by 4 out of 5 of those universities. And the only university that accepted me was Birmingham. I did not want to go to Birmingham, I just put it there because I had to fill up 5. So I was stuck. I was like, oh crap, why is no one accepting me? I thought I was really good, I thought my portfolio was good. It wasn't. I was quite academic and all that kind of stuff. I had a lot of experience from working part-time, from doing internships, etc. So I was confused. Anyways, I remember one day praying about it and being like, God, like give me some sort of guidance. Kid you not, 30 minutes after I said that prayer, my sister, who we were still living together at the time, came into my room. She said, I've been thinking, why don't you study a business related degree and then just carry on doing your fashion thing on the side, because business is a great, as a great thing to learn, it's probably a great degree to have, and then fashion is something that you can kind of learn through experience, so you can do both hand in hand. And I just got a sense of peace when she said that to me, and I was just like, yeah, that makes sense, I'm gonna do that. So the next morning I got back on UCAS and they had this thing, what was it called? Someone tell me below, but you get like you can apply for an extra one, like this is way before clearing even happens. I can't remember what it's called. Anyways, I applied to study business management at the University of Westminster. 30 minutes after I sent that application, I received an unconditional offer to study business studies at the University of Westminster. Unconditional. Obviously, it was unconditional because I had already finished my A-levels a year before, remember, because I did that foundation year. So it wasn't conditional to the grades I had to wait and get. Wow. It wasn't conditional on my grades because I already had my grades because I graduated from college a year before. Make sense? So I got an unconditional offer. I was like, this is a sign, this is meant to be. Everything was so smooth versus when I was trying to get into fashion school. So I go and I moved to London because I used to live in Leicester. I moved to London and I start my course doing business management. So you do, for the first year, you do business management only. So you do all the different subjects, accounting, all the stuff that goes into business management. And then after the first year, you choose where you want to specialize. I had already decided I wanted to specialize in marketing. So my degree is, I've got a BA honors in business management with marketing. So university experience as a whole was fine. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really live that uni life. But in terms of what I learned at university, I'll be very, very honest. I don't think my degree has helped me that much in my career in terms of knowledge, despite the fact that I am doing something that I actually studied. A lot of people aren't. A lot of people studied like geography, history, whatever, and they do business. Absolutely fine. I'm one of the few people that actually studied a subject and went into work in that space. In terms of knowledge, in terms of theoretical knowledge, I don't know if it's taught me that much. I learned more on the job, if I'm being honest. However, I do think that uni is and was a great experience in terms of just life skills, learning to take care of yourself, learning to manage your own time, learning to not sort of depend on a school curriculum and attendance and etc. It's all your own doing and discipline. And so for that, I definitely would recommend uni to anybody that... Can you hear the ice cream man? Ah! Who's buying from an ice cream man during corona times? Is it not unhygienic? Okay, there we go. If anybody was asking me whether they should go to uni, I would say for your specific degree, very dependent. Obviously, some careers you have to get a formal education like that, some you don't. Mine personally, I don't think I probably would have gotten started out in the marketing industry had I not had a degree, because it helps you get your foot in the door. However, I don't think I use a lot of the theoretical knowledge I learned at uni in my current or past roles. Make sense? Okay, so on to my career. So as I said, I've been working part-time since I was 16, mostly in retail jobs and some service and hospitality jobs, basic stuff. I also made sure that I got as much experience as I could, so I did a couple of internships during my time at uni, unpaid as some of them are, and I think that is where I learned that I like social media as an avenue within marketing or digital marketing. And then obviously I started my YouTube channel when I was in my first year of uni, and so that is where my like for social media and the business side of social media came about. Obviously I was studying marketing, doing social media on the side, brought the two together and said I want to go into a social media role. So I graduated in July 2000 and something, I can't remember, 2016. Yeah, I graduated July 2016 and I got a job by September of 2016. So a few months after graduating, I got a job, which I know I'm very fortunate to do. Some people take much longer to find a job. I honestly think it was down to one, luck, favor, whatever you want to call it. But I also definitely think it was down to me having a pretty good CV. I do think having worked throughout my whole teens definitely helped me gain some good life and people and soft skills. So even though retail has not much to do with the career I'm in now, it definitely taught me just, you know, punctuality, how to talk to managers, how to talk to customers who you can then turn that into clients one day if that's the career you're going into. There are so many soft skills I learned from working for so long and from doing internships that I think were very, very transferable and therefore probably came across when I was going into interviews. So I got my first job straight out of uni and I was a social media manager. That was my title. I was managing the social media accounts for a company, a service brand, and yeah, it was pretty black and white on paper. Whoa, Chile. My first year working was hard. I cried so much. I stayed late so often for things that now would take me literally 30 minutes to do. I was staying up all night trying to do them, which is just goes to show like growth. Yes, it was hard. I was at the first company I worked for, I loved it. They taught me so much, and I feel like my career really developed in that space. I went from social media manager to kind of like an all-round digital marketing manager because it was a startup and there was so much to do, and the role had to develop so many times. So I really did enjoy that role in terms of it helping me learn and grow in a safe space, because everybody knew I was a graduate, everybody's willing to help me, which is really nice. So I think when you are looking for that first job, you don't always have to look for the big names, the Googles, the Facebooks, oh gosh, what's that bank called? The Goldman Sachs and them man there. You don't always have to look for the big companies. Sometimes the smaller startups is where you're going to learn the most, because you get thrown into the deep end, and you have people who are sort of willing to nurture you and grow you as an employee. So that's something to think about when you're looking for your first job. Like I said, I was in that role for 2 years. Within that role, I got a bonus and a salary increase, and then I left after 2 years because I got the job that I'm at now. So I've technically only ever had 2 proper jobs out of uni. So the one I'm in now, I've been there for about 1.5 years. I really like it. My role there is content manager, so similar to social media manager, except this is all digital content, so social media, website, emails, etc. But I would say it's primarily social media, and that is still the area that I feel like there's always going to be so much to learn, because social media changes all the time, and I think that's one thing that I do like about this space, is that it never gets stale because it's always changing. And again, in this job, although the first job taught me a lot and I definitely grew, this job has just stretched me even more, and I'm learning even more. And again, I'm very blessed to have a team and managers that are really interested in my development and helping me. And again, that is key when you're looking for a job. I think one thing that we always forget is that we are also sort of interviewing them to see if we want this job, and it's not just you trying to impress. You are of course trying to impress, but when they say, have you got any questions? Damn right, I got some questions. What is the culture like? What is the team structure? What is the development plan for your employees? These are all things that you need to know, because you're not just there to make money, you're also there to grow and to develop. So those questions are important. So that's my education/career in a nutshell. Hope I answered some of those questions. No, I have not got a master's. I don't think I need a master's personally right now for the career that I'm in. Some career paths you may need that. I honestly value experience, networking, learning on the job over formal education, but that's just because of the field that I'm in, and it's something you have to evaluate based on the industry that you want to go into. So key things I've learned from my short career. How many years have I been working? 4 years. So here are the things I've learned in 4 years. Experience is key. I would definitely recommend that anyone that's thinking about it, if you're still sort of at college, university age, school age, even if you can, wherever you're from, work, I would work. Even if you don't need the money, even if your family is balling, I think it just teaches you some really, really valuable skills that you won't learn anywhere else. Just how to get along with people that you don't like, first of all. How to please a manager in a way that's going to work back in your favor. Being punctual, money management. You definitely value, well, I definitely started valuing money more once I was earning it myself. Those are the sort of things that I think you should learn as early as possible. Another thing I learned is that after a while, to be honest, your uni degree becomes unimportant. It's on my CV because, you know, it's there, but I doubt at this stage in my career, only 4 years in, I doubt many people are looking at the degree that I got. It's more about the experience that I have now, the things that I've achieved, the tangible things. Like on my CV it says grown X channel by X% over this amount of time, you know, the hard numbers. I think that's what's important. So don't sweat the degree too much from a point of view of like, oh, this is not one of the top 2 unis, or oh my gosh, I didn't get a first. Like, those things help get your foot in the door, but it's not the be all and end all. Another thing I've learned is that it does not matter how smart or competent you are. Honestly, people skills get you so far. I think about how I was very smart at school, but I wasn't the smartest, if that makes sense. I wasn't like the nerdiest. And honestly, I would 100% take people skills over pure academics any day, because of the field that I'm in, and because I've learned that people skills get you way further. Essentially, people want to hire someone that's going to make their life easier, and that's not just through competency, that sometimes is through how you manage stress, how you manage conflict. Are you stressing people out? Like, if I was a manager, I would not want to hire someone that's got attitude, and that's going to stress me out. So people skills, in my opinion, trump any sort of like academic knowledge, book smarts, etc. Another thing I've learned is that nobody knows what they're doing. Nobody knows what they're doing. Everybody, we are all winging it. Sometimes you go somewhere and you're like, oh my gosh, I wonder when I'll be as smart as my manager. I wonder when I'll be as smart as the CEO. And it's like, mate, we are all just winging it. So honestly, just wing it. There's no one perfect way of doing something in certain fields. And so just give it a go. Fake it till you make it. Another thing I'm learning, even though I went into quite like a well-known career path, marketing, business, there are so many careers out there. The more I talk to different kinds of people, the more my friends are growing up and exploring careers, the more I realize that there are some cool, different careers out there that I'd never even heard of. Concept design, product development, UX designers, agricultural, blah blah blah. There's just so many careers out there, so don't limit yourself to like the standard, I'm gonna be a lawyer, I'm gonna be a doctor. I mean, if you want to be a lawyer, doctor, cool, but just think there are so many careers out there. Take your time, do your research, talk to people, network, because honestly, there's careers out there and there's money to be made in those careers. So please take your time and don't feel like because you've studied X, you can't pivot and you can't change your career path. We're young. Even if you're not young, do it. My final thing that I've learned is there is money to be made out there. Some people's salaries are like, you make how much working in this industry, in that industry? Interesting. I work obviously with social media, so I sometimes work with influencers and negotiating contracts, etc. There's people out here making what we make in a month off an Instagram story, for example. There's money to be made. So don't settle, don't stop learning, keep growing, always be hungry to know more, always be hungry to explore. Because whether or not money is your goal, it's out there. It's out there. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it answered those questions. I hope it was insightful. If you have any more questions that I did not answer in this video, please do leave me a comment down below. If any of my fellow marketers are out there and want to share their tips and their advice, or even whatever career you're in, please do that below. And as always, like this video if you did, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe if you're not, 49% if you're not. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.